What it do, IG? We are back again with another review here. We got the DFAC World's Final Review. I'll finally get to do my good man, Anthony Cedric. Masters over 40 review now for the DFAC World's Finals. Yeah, this is a very, very good one here because, yeah, a lot happened in this one. I think this is probably my best example as to why I tell some people having a lot of call outs might not be in your favor. um, so yeah, a little bit of background going into this one. Anthony, great season he had. We were coming up to our last show of the season. Already had done 3 shows prior to this, and yeah, we're looking to round things off after a great showing at the BNBF finals and WNBF finals as well in the UK. Unfortunately, that was our best look for the seasons, though, for those back-to-back shows in the finals, because we then had a little bump in the road leading up to this one where he did get some really, really bad stomach flu bug. And yeah, it was quite, we were a little bit worried. Thankfully, because of where we were, because we were already ready and everything was where it was at, it was just a case of just trying to manage it as best as possible, which we were able to do and bring something out on the day, which was still good, but definitely was not his best for the season or his all-time best because, yeah, that definitely was, it was clear in his BNBF finals and WNBF finals those were his best looks there. But nonetheless, we brought what we can to this. Obviously, it wasn't ideal for me because the plan for me was I was trying to more feed him up into the show, but with the illness, him not being able to stomach things and all that kind of stuff, it was quite tough. It literally was a really case of just balancing things as best as possible. And I know, for what we brought in the end, hey, we just have to be thankful, because we made it there, and he was able to pick up a 3rd place in the end as well, which was quite good. Taking up the bronze at the Worlds in his first Worlds is honestly we're really grateful for. But we just know there was we could have probably done a bit more there. Now going into the show, I'll get straight into it because yeah, there's no point in talking too much pretty much beforehand. Might as well just get straight into it. And yeah, 10 to 12 guys, I believe, in the lineup. And yeah, this is where it was tough because, of course, Anthony had to be the last one on the end as well, which probably shouldn't have happened if he had, I don't know, if he'd come out a bit sooner. He got lost there when he was coming out. And yeah, unfortunately, it just from there it was stacked up. I think it was 10 guys in the lineup there. It was, with where the lighting was, again, DFAC lighting, as amazing as it is, I truly believe he's one of the best out there on the stages. I think in the far wings, it was hard to get good lighting from those wings there. And I feel like, with the guys, the judging, clearly a lot of tossing and turning in regards to decisions there. They looked quite locked in their top 2, and anything after that was all over the place. And yeah, this is going to be a long one because there was a lot of call-outs with this one. And yeah, I did not envy Vicky here as head judge. Bit of a headache. But like, for example, straight up here, this is the first call-out, and I was really intrigued with this. So again, that was actually ended up being your winner. All right, first guy out. Ended up being your 2nd place guy. And this is where I was a bit confused because that wasn't your 3rd place finisher. That wasn't even your 4th place finisher. And obviously, Anthony did not finish in 5th either. So this is how I knew that things were really all over the place. But also what confused me was, which you're going to see, poor Anthony, after battling illness going into this show, we were just trying to stay as fresh as possible and, and not have to go through, hopefully, too many rounds, even though we're prepared for it. He went through every single call out. So he was battling in the top 5, battling in the bottom 5, constantly in every call out, which is it was tough. It was confusing. Because yeah, I wasn't too sure how it's going and how things are going there. Just making sure my mic's still on. So then yeah, this was it. So those top 2, they were sure of in regards to that with the judging. And then now they bring out, some more guys here. Again, Edison, who Anthony took 3rd, who beat in the previous weeks at BNBF finals. And then another guy here, a bit surprised that James hadn't come out yet. I remember when I was watching this, again, I was thinking interesting, leaving James out there a bit more, which was, didn't think he was, and he didn't obviously end up there, which is again, like I said, very interesting. For me right now, I was just locked in on, okay, look, Anthony can beat the guy next to him, the guy in the gold trunks. That's his goal to beat right now. That's the way I was looking at it. And, you know, again, calling out here and everything. And yeah, Anthony was locked in, not sluggish at all in his quarter turns, you know, showing the shape that we have. Again, it wasn't as, we know it could be better, but that's where it was at. And then here we had another guy taken back. And I was like, is he being put in the first call out, or they just want to see this fall for now? And then they bring out James. And of course, James is absolutely on. So wasn't surprised with this. So again, yeah, the other guy at the back now, I was a bit like not too sure why. And he didn't even place in the top 5, which was interesting. But yeah, James being absolutely on as he is. Darren dialed him in again, once again. Awesome work from those two there. And again, now I'm just thinking, all right, just beat the guys next to you. All right, so light blue trunks, gold trunks, left and right, beat them. And again, I was happy with this. I was like, okay, I believe Anthony's doing this here. I think he's, you know, at least he's putting his case here for what is now looking like 4th place. So I was just like, okay, as long as he gets a call out with those guys again, I'm pretty sure we can make our way back up there. So yeah, apologies with the messages coming through while I was doing the recording here. So okay, Anthony gets put back. I was like, okay, he's worked his way into that top 4. This is what we want to see. All right. Now this will happen to be the only breather Anthony got the whole of prejudging, which was brutal. Nonetheless, for someone who is feeling 100% fine and everything, but for someone who's literally just come off illness and then also traveling and being here now, at the dog end of prep, right at the end of it, it was brutal for the guy, and I was just feeling it for him. But man, he was an absolute professional all the way through it, and you know, he stuck it out. It wasn't something I could say was a factor, like he was fatigued or anything. He didn't show that, so that's why I was really impressed with it. Again, his effort all throughout the whole prep, and you know, even during the competition season itself on stage, he kept to that professionalism. James looking absolutely menacing there, you know, making a lot of guys look soft there. And we had Edison going to the back. I was like, okay, it looks like, you know, that's your top 5 right now. I was like, all right, maybe that's the top 5. And then, yeah, just waiting for the call here. This is where it's very interesting, because this was your original. He's from the top 2. And then they bring back Anthony. And I was like, very interesting. It's like very, very confusing, because you have someone from the top 2 and someone from the top 4 now back in the lineup. And this is where I was just like, you know what, Josh, just focus on what's in front of you. Your man's out again. Just give him whatever cues he might need, and that's what I was doing. Again, just beat the guy next to you. And the guy they just brought out, who was in the top 2, I'm not gonna lie, yeah, it was like, this guy is definitely quite heavily muscled. However, I felt like he was quite soft in the lower half, and proportionally, again, Anthony's given that really good silhouette there, in regards to just showing. Again, the quality is not that great. You know, apologies. Obviously, this is a screen grab from a phone. You know, this is where it got really confusing now for me as a coach, knowing where my client is. So far, you're thinking, okay, these are the guys not in the top 5. Like, trying to understand, like, obviously, as someone who judges as well, I'm trying to put myself in their chairs and think, how would I be calling it? Trying not to be biased to my client, of course. But as I'm seeing this and what the head judging is doing, I'm thinking, okay, maybe this is most likely me judging the bottom part of this lineup. Although I would have been thinking James would have been pushing up, and also the guy in the gold trunks on the far left as well, pushing up possibly there. That would have been my thoughts. And of course, as you've seen the next few call outs, it's yeah, it still kept on getting interesting there. James again.